Federal Reserve just said something they have never said before. They admitted they broke the American economy, and they cannot fix it. Jerome Powell stood in front of the cameras this week and confessed that the United States is now living in what economists call a K-shaped economy. One half of America is booming, the other half is collapsing, and the gap between them is becoming so extreme that Powell himself said, "How sustainable this is, I don't know." Let me translate what that means. The chairman of the most powerful central bank in human history just told you that the system is failing and he has no idea how to stop it. I spent years working at the IMF. I sat across the table from finance ministers whose economies were splitting apart exactly like this. I watched Greece tear itself in half. I watched Argentina's middle class vanish overnight. And I always thought to myself, thank God this cannot happen in the United States. I was wrong. The K-shaped economy is not some abstract theory from a textbook. It is the mathematical proof that the American dream is dead for 80% of the population. And this week, the Fed admitted they are the ones who killed it. Today, we are going to decode what Powell really said. We are going to show you the numbers they do not want you to see. And we are going to explain why this admission is not just a warning. It is a countdown. Let me start with the confession itself. On December 10th, Jerome Powell held a press conference after the Fed's latest interest rate decision. A reporter from NBC News named Christine Romans asked him a simple question about inequality. She asked about how higher-income households are driving spending while lower-income consumers are struggling after 5 years of rising prices. And instead of giving the usual bureaucratic answer, instead of hiding behind technical jargon and economic models, Powell told the truth. He said, "We hear about this a lot. If you listen to the earnings reports for consumer-facing companies that deal with low and moderate-income people, they all say people are tightening their belts, changing the products they buy, buying less. It's clearly a thing." Notice that phrase. It's clearly a thing. That is not the language of careful central banking. That is the language of someone who has run out of ways to sugarcoat the reality. Then he added the most terrifying sentence. Asset values, housing values, and securities values are high, and they tend to be owned by people more at the higher end of the income and wealth. So as to how sustainable it is, I don't know. Stop and think about what he just said. The chairman of the Federal Reserve, the most powerful economic policymaker on the planet, just admitted 3 devastating truths in one sentence. First, he admitted that asset prices are inflated. Second, the Federal Reserve